Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss how to find the cube root of a given number by using the estimation method. So let's start the sums. Now we'll learn how to find cube root by estimation method. So while finding the cube root of a given number by using this method, we just have to remember three rules. In first rule, what we have to do? First of all, we have to make a group of three numbers from the right side. Or we can say we have to make a group of three numbers from the end. So 1, 7, 5, 7, 6. Okay. So we have to make a group of three numbers from the end. So just make the group. This one and the remaining 17. 5, 7, 6 is our first group and 17 is our second group. Okay, again I am repeating. In first step, first of all we have to make group of three numbers from the end and the remaining one will our second group. So 5, 7, 6 is first and 17 is our second. This was our first step. In second step, we'll take our first group. It's 5, 7, 6. So as they said, we have to find the cube root. It means this is the cube of a number. Clear? So it's 576. It means 576 is the cube. It ends with 6. So we have to check here which cube ends with 6. 216. So it means the number which is having 6 at its unit place. So its cube root will also ends with 6. Because here it was 216, 6 at its end, and its cube root was also 6. Again I am telling you, see, here the cube is 8. It means the cube root of 8 is 2. If there is 8 at the unit place of any cube of a number, then 2 will come at the end of the cube root of that number. Similarly, here we were having 576, which was the cube of a number. It ends with 6. It means its cube root will also ends with 6. So here we were having these two groups, this one, this one. So at the place of this we are having 6 here. In next step, we'll take 17. First of all, we'll check whether this group is a perfect cube or not. So we know that 17 is not a perfect cube. So we'll check 17 is coming between which two perfect cubes. So we know that it is coming between this and this. 17 is coming between 8 and 27. So 8 is cube of 2 and 27 is cube of 3. So we always prefer the smaller number. So 8 is less than 17 and 2 is the cube root of 8. So we'll write here as 2. Again I am repeating the steps. Here it was 1, 7, 5, 7, 6. In first step we have to make a group of 3 from the end. This was our first group and this is our second group. So it's 5, 7, 6. It is a cube. This cube ends with 6. So its cube root will also ends with 6. So in the first gap we'll write 6. Now 17. First of all we have to check whether 17 is a perfect cube or not. We know that 17 is not a perfect cube. So we have to check it will lies between which two perfect cubes. It is lying between 2 and 3. It is cube of 2 and cube of 3. But we always prefer the smaller number. And smaller is 8 and 8 is the cube of 2. So we'll write here as 2. Now sum of exercise. Here it is 1331. So we have to find its cube root by estimation method. So first of all we'll do the same step. It's 1331. First of all we have to make group of three numbers from the right side. This and this. This is our first group and this is our second group. In second step, just write this. This ends with 1. this cube ends with 1. So we have to check its cube root ends with which number. So just check. The cube of 1 is 1. It means if there is a cube of 1, here the cube of 1 is 1, it means the cube root of 1 is again also 1. It was 331. So this implies its cube root also ends with 1. So here we were having 2 places. So here we'll write 1. In next step we are having 1. First of all we have to check whether 1 is a perfect cube or not. Yes, 1 is a perfect cube of 1. So we'll write here as 1. It means 1331 is a cube root of 11. So just keep one thing in your mind, how to find these sums. First of all we have to make pairs or groups of 3 numbers from the end. And then the remaining one will be our second group. So it's 331. Then we have to check that number ends with which number. And then we have to check its cube root ends with which number. So we'll write it here. In second step we have to check the second group is a perfect cube or not. If it is a perfect cube we'll write it here. If it is not a perfect cube then we'll check it is coming around which perfect cube.